It's a smack in the face for the people of London that little guy, Sadiq Khan, is going to get a knighthood. What's he done for this city? And worse and worse. It's not safe to walk the streets, particularly if you're a woman. Yeah, women are terrified to walk the streets of this city, of people who've been stabbed to death on the streets of London during Sadiq Khan's god-awful regime.
Sadiq Khan's knighthood is under fire. Critics claim he's turned London into a cesspit and defended Islamic extremists. But is there more to the story? Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. From his support of controversial figures to his stance on charged British men, Khan's past actions are now in the spotlight. As we unpack the evidence, you'll see why this knighthood has become such a heated debate. In 2002, Sadiq Khan found himself at the center of a controversial case that would cast a long shadow over his political career. As a human rights lawyer, Khan took on the defense of 3 British men detained in Egypt. The incident raised eyebrows and sparked a heated debate about the balance between human rights advocacy and national security concern.
There's a petition now to stop this guy getting a knighthood. It's over the 100,000 mark. Can we stop?
Well, I think the enormous problem is that we've got a series of unresolved issues that many people are very concerned about. Everything from crime on the streets to the situation with housing. And we at Together, the Together Association did a big piece of work with Ben Pyle, 2 reports that at first people were nervous about because people couldn't quite believe that perhaps the mayor's office would just blatantly lie.
The 3 men whose identities were closely guarded faced serious accusations of involvement with extremist groups. Egyptian authorities claimed they had uncovered damning evidence linking the trio to terrorist activities. But Khan saw the case differently. He argued that the only evidence against the men was their confessions, which he believed were obtained under highly questionable circumstances. Khan's involvement in the case quickly became a lightning rod for criticism. Some viewed his defense as a principled stand for justice and due process, while others saw it as evidence of misplaced priorities or even sympathies with extremist ideologies. The debate raged on, with both sides presenting compelling arguments for their positions. At the heart of Khan's defense was a bold claim. There is no evidence at all against the 3 British men. He stated emphatically, "We now have unequivocal proof that the confessions were obtained under duress and under torture."
Gaslit us and told us that this thing was happening and it was absolutely not true. So he's lied about that to try and usher in measures that were just going to charge and survey us. Frauds on a high level because of these measures of impositions that have no impact whatsoever on air. Where are all the family purpose-built housing for people and crime?
This assertion not only challenged the validity of the evidence, but also raised serious questions about the treatment of detainees and the integrity of the Egyptian legal system. Khan didn't stop there. He criticized the Egyptian government's handling of the case, arguing that the detention of the 3 men was a breach of Egyptian law itself. In a surprising twist, he even invoked Egypt's own legal traditions, emphasizing that the Egyptian legal system had a proud history of justice. This approach sought to appeal to Egyptian authorities' sense of legal propriety, while simultaneously highlighting the perceived injustice of the situation. And the implications of Khan's involvement in this case would reverberate throughout his political career. Critics would later use it as ammunition to question his judgment and allegiances. However, Khan has consistently maintained that his actions were in line with his principles. "I have fought extremism all my life," he asserted, pushing back against accusations that his legal work somehow aligned him with extremist ideologies. As we examine the circumstances surrounding Khan's support for these 3 British men in 2002, it becomes clear that the case was far from straightforward. It highlighted the complex interplay between human rights, national security, and international relations. Khan's defense strategy raised important questions about the use of confessions obtained under duress and the treatment of detainees in the global fight against terrorism. This incident would prove proved to be just the beginning of Khan's controversial encounters with sensitive political issues. As we'll see, his decisions would continue to spark debate and scrutiny in the years to come. While Khan's 2002 defense raised eyebrows, his actions in 2016 would thrust him back into the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. As the newly elected mayor of London, Khan found himself embroiled in controversy when he shared a platform with 5 individuals alleged to have extremist ties. One of these figures even had direct links to Hamas, a fact that would prove particularly damaging for Khan's public image. The backlash was swift and severe. Then Prime Minister David Cameron didn't mince words, accusing Khan of repeatedly appearing alongside individuals who supported extremist ideologies. Cameron specifically called out Khan's association with Suleiman Ghani, a preacher from Khan's constituency who allegedly supported Islamic State. This accusation struck at the heart of Khan's credibility as a political leader and reignited debates about his judgment. Khan's response to the criticism was a mix of regret and defiance. He acknowledged the poor optics of the situation, stating, "I regret giving the impression I subscribe to their views, and I've been quite clear I find their views abhorrent." However, he also strongly defended his record, emphasizing that he had fought against extremism throughout his life. This dual approach highlighted the complex position Khan found himself in, trying to balance community engagement with political prudence. The political fallout from the incident was significant. Khan's opponents seized on the opportunity, accusing him of providing oxygen to extremist views. These accusations struck at the core of Khan's political identity and threatened to undermine his authority as mayor of London. Khan, for his part, dismissed the campaign against him as divisive and dog-whistling, suggesting that his critics were engaging in political opportunism rather than genuine concern. Khan's supporters framed his participation in the event differently. They argued that it demonstrated his commitment to dialogue and community engagement, even with those holding opposing views. This interpretation positioned Khan as a bridge builder in a divided society, willing to engage with all segments of the community he served. The controversy surrounding Khan's platform-sharing incident opened up broader discussions about political accountability and the standards expected of public figures. It raised questions about how politicians should navigate complex community relationships and where the line should be drawn in terms of association with controversial figures. As we consider the evidence surrounding this incident, it becomes clear that Khan's actions in 2016 would have far-reaching consequences. The controversy would continue to dog his political career, resurfacing years later as debates raged about his worthiness for knighthood. The question remained, had Khan shown poor judgment, or was he simply a victim of political smear tactics? Sadiq Khan's political career has been a roller coaster of controversy and achievement, from his defense of British men accused of terrorism to sharing platforms with alleged extremists. Khan's actions have sparked intense debate. Critics argue these incidents reveal poor judgment and questionable allegiances. Supporters counter that Khan's record shows a commitment to justice and community engagement. The knighthood controversy raises broader questions about political accountability. How do we weigh a public figure's accomplishments against their missteps? Should past associations disqualify someone from public honors, or is there room for nuance and growth? As Britain grapples with these issues, we're left wondering, what should the modern standards for knighthood really be? In an era of intense scrutiny and polarized opinions, can any political figure truly meet the bar of being beyond reproach?